Hello, today is Thursday, February 9th, 2017, and this is As Swede Speaks. 2 nights ago, there was a shooting in Malmö, in the south of Sweden. Malmö is right over the strait from Copenhagen. Anyway, a middle-aged janitor was shot with several shots. He was shot when he was cleaning away snow, and as of yesterday, he was alive, but his condition was unstable. I have been unable to find any more recent reports on how things are going with him. So let's just hope and pray for the best. There has been a dramatic increase in the number of murders with firearms in Sweden, according to Swedish news yesterday. In the otherwise left-wing channel SVT, Sveriges Television, Sweden's television, which is the license funded. Anyway, and for a long time, commentators in Sweden, of whom many, I think most actually, are comedians. If any Americans are watching, does this sound familiar? Anyway, they have been claiming that Sweden has never been safer than it is right now. However, now even the leftist SVT says that the situation is bad. So, on a side note, I wonder, will the comedians finally stick to comedy and shut up about things they don't understand? That would be nice. But let's move on. In Malmö, for the last few months, from November last year until January this year, there has been 11 murders and 55 reported shootings during these months. And what are we to do? What should be done? Mr. Anders Ygeman, who is a social democrat and who is the Swedish Minister for Home Affairs, was interviewed by a reporter in SVT yesterday, and he now talks about stricter punishments and more policemen. He talks about locking up criminals. However, he also gives a little of this Marxist talk that he has to give to his voters. So he talks about social efforts, about giving youngsters jobs and education, and fine, jobs and education is a good thing. But hey, more policemen would be a good idea. It is a good idea. Because protecting people from inner and outer enemies is one of the main purposes of having a government. And this has been neglected by Sweden. Sweden has been a night walker's state. If the night walkers dare to go out, that is. Because there are lots of places in Sweden that are pretty bad. If you heard about Sweden as some sort of Scandinavian Nordic utopia close to the North Pole, where everyone was equal and no one starved and everything was fine and nice, forget about that. There are 55 no-go zones in Sweden. Some people say there's 155, but 55 is the number I've been able to find online when I try to research this. So I guess there are at least 55. There could be more. I guess it depends on definitions. And Sweden has turned into a country of the dialogue police. Instead of meeting fire with fire or fighting fire with fire, Sweden has tried to talk people out of doing bad things. And now we are at the situation of which we are, a terrible one, in Sweden, not here in Norway. I will talk about Norway in other videos, but this video is about the terrible situation of Sweden. And Swedish policemen are underpaid, and lots of them are leaving their jobs in the police force and go into other jobs, better paying ones, less risky ones. And when the policeman has spoken up that they should be better paid, Mr. Dan Eliasson, the National Police Commissioner, although he is not a policeman, he is a political commissar, a politruk. He has studied some law, his Wikipedia entry says, but he has never served as a policeman. The reason for why he has the position he has is because of his loyalty to government, to political leaders, or, well, to politicians. Not really leaders, but politicians. And that is just a terrible thing. He should be fired, and they should put a policeman, a real policeman, an experienced real policeman with guts should be put in his place. Anyway. And Mr. Dan Eliasson also does not support Mr. Peter Springare when Peter Springare voiced what is going on in his police district in Örebro in Sweden. And this is all a shame. And it has to stop now. What needs to be done, in my opinion, is that government needs to make sure policemen are prioritized. Police presence should be prioritized. I mean, also, one of the things that happened in Sweden was they fired a lot of the civil personnel in the police. Or I mean, the people who had desk jobs. People who weren't really policemen, but who did desk things. Clerks, I think you could call them. And instead policemen had to do this. So instead of being out on the streets, watching what happened and being able to stop things from happening, they would sit in an office. And that's really, come on, it's crazy. Of course you need some policemen in offices too, but they should be crime investigators. Not doing tasks that could be better done by secretaries. Seriously. Anyway, I digress a little. It's easy to do that. Government. The Swedish government needs to take back control of the lost areas, of the no-go zones of Sweden. And that must be done quickly. And I guess that's really all I gotta say about this right now. This is what I think should be done. And if you like this channel, if you like this video, or if at least you like this channel, if you want me to be able to make more videos about important topics in Sweden, in Norway, in the Nordic countries, in the Western world, about America, and whatever, please support it. You can support it by liking it, and by sharing it, and by spreading the word. And you can also support it through Patreon. So if you got $1, if you got $10, if you got $1 million, whatever you got that you're willing to give, I'll take it gladly and with a thank you. And this is A Swede Speaks. Have a nice day.